going to be making a little trinket dish today using this mould from Temu that's got all these roses around the outside. And I've got these three colours of the silver flake, gold flake and like that bronzy colour. And what I've done is I've just mixed a few of all the colours into a separate pot. So there's a nice mixture of them all in there. And I'm going to be using some of the Let's Resin metallic powder in silver. So I'm going to start off just by brushing some of this silver around the outside. So just going all the way around the outside with this, making sure to get up all those edges as well and covering all those edges there. So I'm just going to quickly do this, and while I'm doing this I'd just like to say thank you to all my subscribers and all my new subscribers I've had recently. Thank you ever so much. I really do appreciate that. It does mean the world to me. And thank you for all your kind comments and likes. It's much appreciated. Thank you ever so much. So just got a little bit more to do around this edge here. Just put a bit more on my brush there. Just making sure I've got all that covered. And then I'm going to go up this side here and up this side here. A bit more on there, I think. And then round this edge bit here, just trying to follow on from that natural curve that's in that little trinket dish there. Don't mind if I go over a little bit because it's not got like a set line where it starts and finishes, so I think I'm just going to do it roughly round the top bit. Maybe just do that. Just brush it on roughly around there. Blow off any excess, tap any out. So that's how it's looking around the edge. Right, so now I'm just going to clean my brush and pop the lid on that so I don't knock it over. Now I'm going to use these flakes in the flowers, and I'm just going to pick up all the random colours and then just drop them in wherever. No set pattern to these, just gonna burnish those onto the mould, just in different places. So while I'm doing this, I'll just pop you on a quick fast forward.
On that dresser, it sits so still, the resin tray with a quiet thrill, gold and silver in a copper embrace, roses blooming in a frozen space, golden petals catch the light, silver whispers in the night, copper veins weave through the air, a treasure held beyond compare. The roses shine with stories untold, a dance of warmth and hues of gold.
Right, so that's as much covered as I want to do. I don't want it to be all over. I'm going to mix up some resin, and I want the colour of the resin to show through in between, so I don't want it all solid. So I'm just going to go and mix up some resin and then I'll be back. I've mixed up some of the Apex High Gloss Finish resin, and I'm just going to add to that some Arteza mica powder in Space Grey. So I'm just going to add some of that into there. Oops, that came out in a blob, didn't it? Right, and get that nicely mixed in. So when you're mixing your mica powder, you need to make sure you thoroughly mix it so you don't get any floating bits of unmixed mica, because they will show on your piece if it's not mixed in properly. So make sure you give that a good stir. I'm being quite rough with it today in the way I'm stirring, because I know I'm going to be putting it through my vacuum chamber. But if you haven't got a vacuum chamber or a debubbler, then just stir slowly but thoroughly, making sure to scrape the sides. And if you let it sit for a bit, you can quite often see if any floating bits of mica come to the top, and then if you see any, then you can just give it a bit more of a stir. Right, so I think that's okay now. So I'm just going to pop that through the vacuum chamber, and then I'll be back to pour. This is all ready now, nice and bubble free. So I'm just going to really slowly pour it into the mould, just so as it finds its own way into all those little flower crevices. So then it should stop any bubbles forming. So nice and slowly. Not so bad up this end, just where all those flowers are. So no rush, just nice and slowly, and just make it work its own way in. Right, we're nearly there now, so I'm just going to top it up and get a dome on there. That should be good. Oh, I've mixed that way too much. Oh. And I'm just going to pop any of those bubbles that have come to the surface just by using, this is just what they class as a cigarette lighter. So it's not got a really strong flame on it. So just pop those bubbles that have come up. And then I'm going to leave that to cure. So I need to find something else. Let's just push that over to the one side. I think you could do with a little bit more actually. Let's just add a little bit more in there. That's better. And then pop those again. Right, and I think, where's it gone? I think I'm going to see if I've got enough resin for this, what do you call it? Oh, words. Plate mould. I'm just going to do this in the grey if I've got enough. Hopefully I've got enough. If not, I have got a bit of clear left over that I can add to it. Oh, I think that's going to be just enough. Perfect. Well, that was a lucky guess. When you use this mould in EcoPour so far, so wasn't sure how much it would take resin wise, but that's all good. Right, okay, so we'll leave those to cure and then I'll see you back for demold. These are both cured up now, so let's pop these out. Ow, oh, jeez. Yeah, be careful when you're demolding. Let me just put something on that first. Right, where was I? Yes, be careful when you're demolding resin. It can have really sharp edges. So watch your fingies. Right, let's see if I can get this out now without doing myself any more mischief. So sharp edge there, so that would definitely need filing down. So let's get this out. Right, that's that out. Let me just going to use the deburring tool, and I'm just going to go around this edge before I cut myself even more. Just make those edges nice and smooth. Right, that's better. Don't forget to pop your moulds back in the right way. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, it's nice. Yeah, I like that. Very nice. So let's shall we finish this one off first? I've got these stickers, these rose stickers, and I thought one of those might look nice in there. Which one? Let's look at that one. Yeah, I think that would go nice in there. So I'm just going to trim off some of these edges here, because otherwise they're gonna fold up the lip of that. So that needs to chop off, and a bit of that needs to chop off. And let's see, a bit more off that one, I think. So let's just round that one off a bit. Is that better? And a bit more off of that one there. Lovely. So these are just stickers. Let's see if I can do it without my thumbs now. Oh, I always do it like that. I can't even get my sticker off now. Oh, lordy, lordy. Right, I need to get some tape. Let's try it that way. Let's get 2 pieces of tape. Put one on there. And then one on there. Then pull them apart. Yay! And then get that off of there. Right, so now I just need to line that up. Which way do I want it? I'll make sure that's straight at the top there. And put that down in the middle. And then because this is a sticker, just a normal sticker and not a DTF, this is going to need a top coat of resin. But that looks nice, like that. Right, let's get this one out. See if I can do this without chopping any more bits off my fingies. See how this one's looking. Oh, that's shiny. Right, let's have a look. Oh, like that. That's pretty. Yeah. So that's just going to need a bit of trimming around the back as well. So I'm just going to go around with the deburring tool. Oh, it's awkward now with a thumb like that. Just around these edges here. Right, that's better. Yeah, so I think we'll call that one done. That's really shiny on the sides. Like that. Okay, so I'm just going to mix up a little bit more resin and then we'll put a top coat on this. I've mixed up a small amount of Apex High Gloss resin, but before I do a top coat, I think I'm going to use some of the Create and Bloom Flourish paste in Valley of the Kings, which is a nice gold colour. So you do have to mix this paste in because the it will, I don't know what it's called, but it will settle on the bottom. So you need to give it a good mix. So that's nicely mixed in, I think. So now I'm just going to put that out of the way. Use my finger and I'm just going to highlight some of these bits around the edge here with the gold. That looks nice, I like that. And then around these bubbly bits here. And on here. Just show off that detail a bit more. Nice, looks quite antique-y, doesn't it? Right, I think that will be enough for that. Yeah, and that gives it a nice shine. Right, let's pop the lid back on that one. And then I'm just going to give this a top coat of resin. It's not going to need much, just a nice thin layer. So I'm just going to work that all the way around there. Oh, what's that there before it gets caught? There. Just work that around. I think I need a little bit more. And then just give that a cover in. And if I don't do it too deep, then it could either be used as a hanging plate or like a little dish, which is nice. I think it just needs a touch more, maybe a little bit more. Right, I think that's probably enough to coat that sticker. Actually, no, I think it's pulling away from the edges a little bit because of the shape. So I'll just fill it up a bit more. Right, and then I'm just going to take my torch, well, a little cigarette lighter thingy, and then pop any bubbles. And then I'll leave that to cure, and then I'll see you back in a minute. This is all cured now, looking lovely. So this needs, if this is going to go on the wall, it's going to need a hanger. So I've just got this little piece of wire and just bent it into a sort of U shape. Right, where's the top? That bit there is the top. So I'm just going to fix this in place using some bonding resin. And this resin comes with a torch. So I'm just going to put a blob there and a blob there, and then just hold that at an angle and set that into place. And this bonding UV sets really quickly. So now I'm just going to reinforce that a little bit by putting some more over the top. So a bit more there, and a bit more there. And then cure that. And that'll be our 2 little makes done for today. Nice and quick and easy. So that's that done. So now it can hang up with a little hook. Perfect. So there's our rose plate and our little rose trinket dish. That's a really pretty mould, that. I like that. So thank you ever so much for watching my video today, and stay tuned for pictures at the end, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.
On that dresser, it sits so still, the resin tray with a quiet thrill, gold and silver in a copper embrace, roses blooming in a frozen space, golden petals catch the light, silver whispers in the night, copper veins weave through the air, a treasure held beyond compare. The roses shine with stories untold, a dance of warmth and hues of gold, silver dreams and copper